Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's good, man?
Shoot, man, just spending time with my family.
That's what's up. Apologies for the mishap on my end. Um, this
I
this
just
is
want to make sure
my
you knew that I called.
yeah. You called. The funny thing is that immediately after the song ended, the call you called me. So you good, man. You good, man. So it's I'm glad to have him on. Go hip hop artist by the name of Rocket. This is your second appearance on this show. So, with all that being said, um, great to have you on back on the show. You've definitely been working on a lot of music since the last time we chat. So, how are you feeling, as far as your music as we enter this new year? How are you feeling about the music you're about to release to the people?
Oh man, it's to me, as a fan of hip hop like my whole life, I feel like it's up there with everybody that I've been listening to, man. Like I've grown so much in the past few years since the last time I actually got a chance to talk to you. I've got a collab album with another Kentucky artist, Austin Acid. We're gonna be called the Galaxy's Finest, and we've got crazy like old school sounding material on there, and we got the underground legend self-titled featured on one of the tracks. And I'm just like I'm stoked to let people hear it, man. Like it's incredible. And then I've got two different solo albums for the second half of the year that are just ready to go. It's all primed, man. I got different styles, different types of production. It's just great.
That's awesome. I'm familiar with Austin Acid. As a matter of fact, he's going to be on this show by the end of the month. So shout out to him, Austin Acid, Galaxy's Finest. I've actually heard some Galaxy Finest last year through Austin actually, as I was going through the bookings for January, and y'all got some dope music together. I like what I hear. Very
Man,
very
I
unique
appreciate that.
stuff. So hip hop recently had a loss in the community. Um, Very well respected MC by the name of MF Doom. Um, from my understanding, he it was COVID related. The news was announced by his family on New Year's Eve, and he actually passed away on Halloween, but they didn't say anything until New Year's Eve. But how you feeling about MF Doom's music and as far as what he's meant to artists like yourself and the underground? I'm like, how do you think
Man,
he will be remembered as far as the hip hop community?
man, I think MF Doom's always been like top tier lyricist, to me and Austin really. And he I think with his death, man, I think a lot of people are, because he's always been like an underground legend, but I think because of the high publicity he just got, as unfortunate as it is, a lot more people are going to check him out now, and I think it'll catapult him to the level that people like myself and you see him at. Like we see him as this god lyricist because he's just incredible and so out of the box compared to everybody else. And it's a shame that there's not going to be any more, but he put out such a healthy catalog of music. You got years to listen to at least. But
Yeah, definitely. MF Doom, you talk about an artist that was well respected. He wasn't into the mainstream type of stuff. He just did things his way, and nobody told him to be something that he wasn't. He just stayed in his lane, and he had a strong fan base that support him. And you talk about artists synonymous. Slick Rick had the eye patch. Flavor Flav had the clock, and MF
Right.
Doom had the mask. Um, this is right up there as far as you know that mystique about him. Like he was genuine himself. He's one of those very few MCs that didn't get in trouble with the law. You didn't hear nothing bad about him. Like the dude just rap and just
Right.
good. And he was damn good at it too. So
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
you could tell he just lived for it, man.
yeah,
That's love.
yeah. You talk about people that love the culture and appreciate it. MF Doom, he fits that mold. He really loved the culture. So, like you said, it's unfortunate that he's no longer with us. But artists that were influenced by him, that loves his music, his music would definitely live on for a long time. For artists that know him and for those that's been influenced by him. So R.I.P. to MF Doom. And it just, man, it's just odd that of all the years for him to die is at a time that we're in a pandemic and we're being told to wear masks. Like this guy was wearing masks.
Right.
He was way ahead of the curve, and he just did it because he wanted
Right.
to. So, so RIP to MF Doom, most definitely. And I want to get to this Galaxy Finest project with you and Austin. This is actually a two-part question, actually. Um,
All right.
First, how did you and Austin meet, and what made y'all eventually decide to join forces and become Galaxy's Finest?
All right. Well, I met Austin in high school. He was a couple years older than me, and I was this real awkward, nerdy kid, and I just thought he was like the coolest person I had ever met in my life. And he didn't treat me like I was, this loser kid like a lot of people wanted to. He didn't treat me like I was weird because rap in a small town in Kentucky, it's not really something that people look into. It's not something that a lot of people like, and we just that's why we became friends was the music, and then we became best friends, and we have that healthy competition with each other, and we have the same views on, like, we have our own styles, but the same views on what hip hop means to us, and we just always had such a high energy that we've been talking about doing an album together for years, but this unfortunate pandemic, man, it led to that moment. That's what the album is. It's just a moment where we were able to come together and put all that energy together and be as lyrical as possible, and you know just really show our stuff and show off how much better we've gotten since we met.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Like it's definitely cool to have groups that you know went that path as far as getting to know each other, get familiar with each other, and then eventually y'all both started to collaborate, and then y'all ended up doing album music together. And like I said a little earlier, man. I really like Galaxy Finance. I like what y'all bring as far as it's definitely different. I tend to listen to all types of hip hop, like the turn up, the conscience, the boom bap. I listen to almost everything. Like I'm like a unicorn of sorts. I listen to literally to everything. Like y'all are different. Y'all are definitely unique compared to a lot of Kentucky hip hop artists that I've listened to in the past 5 to 6 years. So you mentioned the pandemic, which took a huge hit on the music industry, especially like independent local artists that was performing. Venues, um, concerts all been shut down for a while, and things started to open back up. And even with the vaccine, some artists are already back to performing again. And then there's artists that are hesitant, just a wait and see mode per se. From an artist perspective, when you seeing all of this unfold, how do you feel as an artist? Are you eager of getting back to perform again, or you just wait and see how everything unfolds?
Man, I would go back to performing tonight if I could. Like if I had those kind of connections, I thrive on stage though, man. It's where all my energy comes out. I feel like, it might not be the responsible thing to do though, to be completely honest, but as an artist, man, I can't wait to get back out there. But, as a father, I feel like I probably shouldn't until this is more settled. I got that conflict.
Totally understandable. Especially if you're a parent, you got kids, or you're on the verge of having a kid. Like this COVID thing, man, is not going away anytime soon. So
Right.
it's you know, and I get it. I hate to sound like a broken record, but wash your hands, 6 feet apart, wearing a mask, all that stuff. You're gonna keep hearing that until we, not just in this country, but this whole world, can keep COVID-19 under control.
Right.
So I am a music goer. I like going to music shows, especially local music concerts, festivals, conventions, all of that. I haven't been to one since March of last year, early March, and that was before pandemic hit. So we'll see. Hopefully later this year or maybe next year. But like you, we're optimistic about this right now. Um, so entering the new year, hip hop, there's going to be some big names. There's going to be some up and comers. Um, from an artist perspective, what do you want to see more of as it pertains to hip hop, and what do you want to see less of? What can you what do you want to see more of hip hop as far as maybe substance, maybe content, or like as far as hip hop, like what do you want to see more of this year as far as hip hop?
I want to see more personal growth that like like NLE Choppa when he first come out, he was making just straight gangster rap. It
Yeah,
was dope, but it's not like the best message. And then he kind of became aware of that, and he said that he was gonna stop rapping about violence so much, and try to make more socially conscious records. And I think that's great. I think we need more of that because these mainstream artists like him, they have such a massive influence over, just kids and people in general. And if kids hear it and they think it's cool, I was one of those kids. I grew up listening to Eminem. I thought it was cool. It wasn't cool, I was like 11 years old saying stuff that no 11-year-old should say. And I see the same thing going on with kids now. Like my girlfriend's son, he likes NLE, and it kind of freaks me out sometimes. But I get it because I was the same way, just with different artists. So I really want to see more of that personal growth.
I
And like
must.
I was
Yeah,
late getting into the Jack Harlow wave. I didn't catch him until right before What's Poppin' came out,
yeah.
so I didn't know much about him. But that new album just dropped, and I compared it to a lot of his old music, and I feel like his personal growth has been outstanding too, which is awesome since he's from Kentucky.
Yeah,
I just
I definitely like Jack. I saw him perform 2018 in at Lexington. And yeah, he's definitely showing some growth. You know, and I agree with that 100%. Personal growth, that will be big. Some artists are willing to do that. Some artists feel like if they change, then fans are gonna turn their backs on them. And it kind of reminds me of the Eminem song Zeus, off
Yeah.
the deluxe version of Music to Be Murdered By, and he mentioned Chance and Migos and a couple other artists, and art fans are wishy washy, I think, and I think that's a factor into whether we're going to see the growth in artists now. Are they willing to see these artists grow, get out of their old ways, and willing to evolve per se? Um, and I understand, I get it. Like you want to do something that help make you successful, but I feel like if you change, if you show any signs of change, the fans gonna be like, "Oh, this ain't the guy that I once know." So,
Right.
I don't want to be one of those fans that be wishy washy, but I do want to see some at least try. You don't have to have a complete different album. Just at least just show that you really paying attention of something. That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, I feel the same though. And it's nice like if you're into an artist and you can see that, it seems cool to me. Like I don't know. People have these weird connections with musicians that they've never heard of, but
Yeah.
can't help it, like it speaks to you. So when somebody that you've been listening to for years starts to grow in a positive way, it just feels good to the listener too, to the fan. I feel like.
Right. So you got the Galaxy Finest album on the way. You have some new albums, new solo projects on the way as well. I listened to the Boosters 2 record, and I like that. I like the Time record. I like the Cat Whisper record. I definitely see some growth in you as well. Um, so I definitely look forward to your new music. And please support these artists, man, especially with this pandemic still ongoing. Buy their music, buy their merch. Definitely show that support. Um, Go check out his music on all digital music platforms. The name of the artist is Rocket. This is the only Rocket I know. There's no other Rocket. Okay, if it's some other Rocket, then it ain't that person that I'm talking to. Just saying. um, Go ahead and promote your social media links, man. Let people know where can people hear your music and where can they check you out on social media.
All right, my Instagram, my handle is rocket_rapper, and my YouTube is also rocket_rapper, and so is my Twitter. And let's see, I don't really use my Facebook. I ain't gonna lie to anybody, but it's also Rocket Rapper. You can find me as Rocket Rapper on everything.
Yeah. Well, man, it's great chatting with you. We connect with you. Thank you so much for your time. Hope everything continues to go well for you, health wise, and the family. And look forward to hearing the new music. And keep doing your thing, man. You definitely have a lot good going for you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me, man, and I appreciate the kind words. And I look forward to listening to the rest of these interviews that you do throughout the year, and I hope they all go good. And when you get Austin on later this month, he will have the release date for the Galaxy's Finest. So,
Oh, sounds good, man. Look forward to chatting with him. All right, man. You have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
hey, you too, man. Happy New Year.
Likewise. All right, bye bye.